Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're starting Bitcoin, starting a recovery, which is a good thing at least. Still technically no clear trend. We are very far from what I have noted here as a 200 moving average. That's right, I do have a cool new strategy that probably is going to work. Using 85,000 as resistance, we are currently worth $84,558 for Bitcoin, but yesterday couldn't stream yesterday. I did have to, partly I was a little busy, and also I had to check my portfolio because this was happening and I had to do a bunch of accommodations. Luckily, nothing terrible happened. Thank Christ Almighty. I am still safe. Nothing got liquidated, and I just had to, actively manage everything while it was dropping. Why were things dropping? Well, we've got a lot of sell-offs, outflows from the ETFs. I'd actually do want to check those here. Yeah, you're going to notice that this past 4, 5, 6, past week, okay? Since 18th of February, it's only been sell-offs from all of these ETFs. Little bits of inflows, but it's so insignificant compared to how much was sold. Ultimately, we had that day where a billion was sold, 754 million the day before, yesterday 275 million, just constant sell-offs from the ETFs. And, we're all speculating, oh, is it manipulation? Because we're getting a lot of good news. Really, there's nothing bad happening other than, maybe tariffs, but I mean, that's all practically priced in at this point. Nothing more can affect this, can it? Well, depends. Maybe, well, like I said, it would depend on what the responses are from the people affected by the tariffs, of course. That being Canada, Mexico, and also China. So we have likely tariffs going forward on March. It's not being postponed to April or anything like that. That has been changed. It's now going to be March. And same thing with China. They're getting a 10% tariff, an additional 10% tariff on top of that. So in total, it's about 20% for China, which of course, I don't think we've heard any response from them yet, but the tariffs have still yet to take effect. Of course, Trump blaming the fentanyl crisis and all of that. Today, of course, was also an important day, I guess, for Ukraine, marking third year anniversary of the Russia-Ukraine war, which people are still trying to resolve at this point, but seems like they're close to getting to some form of a resolution by that. Ethereum ETFs as well, constant outflows as you can see, but surprisingly Ethereum has not dropped under 2,000, so that's a good thing at least. I had all of my positions, have their liquidation price below 2,000, so I practically was safe at that point. What we're seeing for today is a bit of inflow, a bit of a change of pace, it seems like here, from Fidelity and from ARK inflowing the most today. Total inflows so far, 338 million. Waiting, of course, for BlackRock, who will always post it the very last minute of the day, it seems like. But it's likely going to be an inflow because we didn't see too much down pressure today. Matter of fact, we saw more of a recovery day today. So, okay, why did we drop this low? Well, a lot of people are saying this is a CME gap, which I'll explain in more detail in just a moment. Essentially meaning, like, when we first saw these levels of above 74,000, you guys remember 74,000 last year? This was it now. Feel old yet? So we did break out of 74,000 as soon as Trump won, right? We were making new all-time highs every day. But then, one day we just decided, you know what, screw the 80,000s. We're just going to pump up all the way to maybe like high 80, 90,000. And then, we had some great euphoria moments of being at an all-time high of 109,976, almost $110,000 for Bitcoin, which was great at that time. This was in January, mid-January, until we just suddenly saw a massive sell-off going on. And ultimately, this is where we end up today. And guess where we landed? Guess where the bottom was? At least what seems like the bottom for now. That area which we skipped from the beginning. So yeah, like I said, I'll get into a bit more detail on that later on. Seems like everything is going up today. It's beautiful to see all these green numbers. But man, if you were alive yesterday, you know that this was a bit crucial to live through. Super trend in 1 hour using 10.3 is flipping bullish. That's a good sign so far. But we still have to, like I said, get above the 200 simple moving average. Not a smooth moving average. I gotta watch what I say here. So yeah, kind of on our way back up. I am prepared if we do get another drop. Yesterday I wasn't that prepared, but I still managed to hold on to everything pretty well. I managed it fine. But yeah, this time I'm prepared if we do see a further drop, which I'm doubting will happen. People have been calling for absurd numbers like 30K Bitcoin again. Like, are you crazy? That's not going to happen. We're not going to see under 74,000 was my prediction when we were at the top, like 100,000 Bitcoins approximately. I wasn't even live, like able to live stream at that time because I was on vacation. But that's mainly the thing that I saw. I think I was live streaming like while we were in the 90,000s, that's for sure. Like before we saw the 100,000 mark, right? And that's practically what I called like, okay, from here, this bull run has absolutely started and we're not seeing pre-election levels ever again, because historically that's also something that has never happened again, right? Like as soon as elections happen every 4 years for the United States, right, presidential elections, the level that Bitcoin was at after it makes its pump, historically speaking, it never goes back to that amount. Sure, it does make a drop as low as, pretty close to whatever that amount was before the election day. But after the election day, like after whatever pump happens after the election day, we never see the price of Bitcoin reach below those levels ever again, historically speaking. So, can that repeat this time? If history does repeat, then yes, we'll not see Bitcoin under 74,000, and this uptrend would practically near confirm that, right? Yeah, I'm hoping so at least. But CME gap practically filled by now. Hopefully this is the bottom, and we will continue to recover from here. It's just impressive how fast Bitcoin can move. Like, in terms of, like, thousands of dollars, like, it's just not uncommon to see anymore. Before we were looking at, like, the 60,000s, oh, it was so boring to be 60,000. Sure, we did have some periods of volatility, where, above 70,000, that would be the best point of Bitcoin. Or, in the 60s, it seems like it was always in the 60s, or whenever we had some FUD, like Germany sell-off, recession fears, Israel-Hamas wars, or Iran, whatever. Yeah, we saw 50,000s for Bitcoin usually. But apart from that, on a normal Bitcoin day last year, it was usually in the 60,000s. At least that's all what I remember from streaming during all that time. This time, we were getting a bit comfortable in the 90s, right? For a long moment. We stayed within this range until, yeah, sure, we did have some FUD, we'll admit it. And we started seeing some downward pressure every time. It seemed like we would bounce back a little. No, we kept going downward. It seemed like we would bounce back a little, and it kept going downward. This time, though, I think we're seeing a bit of a higher low. I think it's a bit too early to tell, to be honest. We still need a bit more time. But as of right now, yeah, that's the resistance that we're seeing. If we are calling this the bottom from the top, I would have to like draw out new levels, and I kind of don't want to do that. But I'm going to do it anyway, just to show you guys, okay? What are we looking for in Bitcoin from here, using this kind of Fibonacci level? Take a look at that, exactly 85,000. Next resistance, 90,000. Next resistance after that, whatever this support was over here, 94,000, that's also something crucial that I mentioned before. So you're seeing these important levels right here. 97,000 is also a common place for Bitcoin. It would make sense. So those are your resistance levels for now. Practically I already have them drawn out. I could draw the 94,000 because that is important as well. So I'm just going to undo this, keeping this for now, just in case we do continue dropping. But if this is the bottom, it makes sense, like, in terms of, if we do continue having to go upwards, where we would see the next resistance levels practically already drawn out here. Yeah. 94,000 approximately would be the floor. Whatever the floor of this range was during that whole week or two of February. But yeah, the tariffs though, I will admit, it is kind of hitting us a little hard. So yeah, we got to watch out for that. There you go. That's my analysis for Bitcoin. Seems like we're pumping a little bit. Almost 85,000. Did we touch 85,000 today at all? Today's highest point? Yeah, we did. Yep. Seems like 85,000 could be broken. I'm expecting by tomorrow, if not today. Tonight, I mean. Asian market is already open. Seems like they are also continuing to buy. Hence, we do not see any downward pressure. And we've already seen the ETF flows for Bitcoin. It seems like we're getting some inflows for today. So that's a good positive sign. After a lot of red, you know, it's good to see a bit of green. Well, black, I guess. I don't know. If you're colorblind like me, you'll understand. So, what's next? Let's have a look at Ethereum. It did drop to new low, 2,075. Lowest point since ever, I guess. Not even August 5 crash was this bad, guys. August 5 crash, we dropped to 2,119, and I still got liquidated hard on those levels on my main account. This time, though, this drop over here, 2nd of February, also liquidated some of my positions, 6 of them to be exact. And then this one, though, I was prepared for. I had all my liquidation levels below this red line over here in this zone. If you do continue dropping, sure, I'll admit it, I'm screwed. But for now, like I said, I'm hoping that this is indeed at the bottom. It's kind of coinciding with this very, very long-term uptrend that we have drawn over here. Right? This uptrend looks like it makes some sense. Look at that. In the weekly chart? Okay, well, I don't know about this level. I'm sure this is supposed to go here or something. Or maybe here. Yeah, that looks appropriate. So, yeah. I mean, overall, like, super long-term uptrend, that's still in play for Ethereum. This downtrend that we're seeing, since it's very, like, steep, it can very easily be broken. How far would we have to travel for that? Well, let's zoom in a little more here. Seems like, what is that? Oh, well, I guess 3,000. Anything above 3,000. At least for this simple moving average, it's looking at 2,500 approximately. If we are able to break that, we can confirm our uptrend and hopefully start recovering even further from there, right? I'd like to see Ethereum above 3,000, and I can't believe I'm saying that in 2025, but there you go. Just gonna micro adjust this. There you go. Okay, cool. Current price of Ethereum, 2,260. Lowest point I mentioned, 2,075. It's fine. XRP is up 6% today. $2.21. It dropped to a low of 195, which is its newest low point. It was February 2nd tariffs. Actually, February 2nd dropped a little further than that. Dropped to a low of 177. I do think I have some trigger orders around like 192, I think. And would also probably be 177. So from here, of course, bounce levels, it seems to be where it bounced yesterday at the $2 mark, right? Why do I have this 196 marked? Is it an all-time high level or a resistance? Yeah, support and resistance from prior levels. Bit of congestion here. Seems very old level, 111. I don't think we're ever seeing that for XRP again. XRP has got so much good news as well for it. Especially if, I don't know, its blockchain gets used by banks, right, to create their stablecoins, which is a bit of a theme that we've been being talked about in US Congress. So that might be a possibility. But it's all speculation. Nothing's confirmed. 7% pump. Not bad. Let's have a look at Chainlink. It's telling me it's 5.9% up today, almost, yeah, 6%. Decent recovery as well. This is exactly 24 hours, by the way, I think. No, that's 3 a.m. Never mind. Is it right now? 9. So it'd be 21 o'clock. Yeah, 21 o'clock. We were approximately around over here 24 hours ago, just like free fall dipping at that moment. But we are on our way back up, recovery for Chainlink. Current price $14.91. Low point it reached is $13.44, which is much lower than what it was February 2nd. February 2nd, we saw a low of 15. This is pre-election levels, right? Or a little bit post-election. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, post-election. Lowest point, November 4, was $10.06. I have my liquidation levels below that because I'm hoping that we do not break those levels like pre-elections. That would only happen on a very, very rare case, such as Solana's case. Solana did break down that far below, and kind of deserved, I guess, because of the whole pump.fun meme coin drama. Look at this 200 simple moving average, practically coinciding with that downtrend. We are looking for a breakout of it soon at the 150 mark, it seems like. That is our next resistance, important resistance, coinciding with the Fibonacci level as well. Low point we reached of Solana was 125. I'll let you guess when the last time we saw 125 was. Well, August 5 for sure, and in September as well. November though, November 4, when Trump got elected, November 5, Solana was 150, okay? And we dipped much lower than that just yesterday itself. 125 was its lowest point. So that should tell us something, right? But from here, I don't think Solana will continue dropping. We've never seen it below 100. We've never seen it below, I mean, I'm talking about this current bull market, right? Lowest point was August 5th. We reached a low of 109. And it's been many times. Solana is a very volatile coin, right? Going from approximately 200 to 100 constantly, right? You could easily 2x your money on that. It did reach a new all-time high with this bull run, reaching a high of $295, almost $300. How it fell from glory to be costing $125, losing 2/3 of its price. Yeah, so you would absolutely have been liquidated. I played my plays a little bit smart. Not too smart, I guess, but still smart. I did DCA multiple times. Not too much money, though. I don't think I got liquidated ever on Solana, but I've been reinforcing my positions, adding more margin to not get liquidated, because I know it will not go below $100. At least I hope. If it does, you know what? I deserve to lose the money. It's fine. But from there, no. 150 important resistance, as I mentioned. Current price is 149. On our way up. I kind of skipped through Litecoin and Cardano, so let's look at those. Litecoin has been very strong, actually. It has not dipped as hard as the rest, mainly due to, of course, its ETF news. It's not out yet. Like I always say, I guess it's got the highest probability of getting the next approval, so people are highly speculative of that. Current price is 128. Man, it's had like no impact, this drop on it. February 2nd, though, did have a big impact on Litecoin for whatever reason, costing it $80, not cents. And from there, of course, given this uptrend, we reached practically a new yearly high. No, yearly high was, yeah, it was, I guess, December. December was a little bit higher, but this point is also fine. 140 is a great point for Litecoin, currently at 128. I don't see any other resistance other than that high of 140, which looks like we're going to continue our way up there. So huge upside potential for Litecoin in that scenario, of course. Cardano up 4.60%. Price is 64 cents. I don't know. It also hasn't been impacted too much either, right? Reaching a low of 57.9, almost 58 cents. Currently 64 cents, as I mentioned. Do we have a downtrend? I guess we do. Longer term, yes. Shorter term, this one seems like it can be broken a little soon, so I'm still going to draw it. Just for our reference. I would probably have to draw it from here. Indeed. So that's your downtrend level, coinciding, of course, with the, what do you call this, super trend in the 4-hour chart. Eyeing the 70 point. Alright, cool. Good luck, Cardano. Not as volatile as the rest. Sui, of course, Sui has been doing great. And if you're wondering what this is, I'm also wondering. So, I kind of did this bit of a strategy testing with automation over here. And I don't know if this actually, this is what I have outputted in my console, right? With the Python script that I'm running for it. It would check for trades. It will say, okay, no trades are found until it does find a trade. And then it will tell you, you know, it opened at 280. Stop loss is 2.8615, which is this one over here. Take profit at 2.6445. And the size is the amount of money, of course, that's placed. Supposed to risk only 1% of the account. I tested it with VST 10,000. VST, similar to US dollar, I guess. It's just fake money, right? It's not real money. But it's good for testing the strategies and everything to see how they would perform. And I let it run. Seems like this just recently hit the stop loss. And I should see that reflected in the console. It's updating every 5 minutes, right? So every candle that you see here gets one whole paragraph of output each time. And okay, so here's the trade closed, I guess. I lost 300. Why did I lose 300 if I'm only supposed to risk 1% of 10,000? That's a coding error. I guess I'm going to have to go confirm and check. And also, you shouldn't be entering neither long nor short positions. Why? Because my strategy tells me if the super trend has to be bearish and 200 SMA also has to be bearish. So you would look for shorts in this section over here, right? Until here. Why until here? Because here's when the super trend becomes green, right? Once this becomes green, but you're still below this, you don't look for any trades at all. That's also something I have to modify in my script. Once the price crosses this blue line, not the fib line, but the 200 SMA, then we can start looking for longs because super trend will be bullish, and so will the 200 SMA, signifying you can look for long trades there. But this seems like it's doing its own thing, apparently. It literally just opened a new trade here, so I'm going to draw it out. Also, I'm losing more than I'm expecting to risk. Good thing I'm not using real money with this yet. That's why I'm testing it out in a demo account first. So it could, you know, mess up as much as you want. But don't screw me over. And it seems like it's waiting until the candle closes above whatever the stop loss is. Not as soon as the high hits it. That's another thing I'm going to have to modify with. Although if I'm running this live, it's already got the parameters set. Like it already knows the stop loss is here and the take profit is here. It won't be monitoring it constantly until the trade has been closed. Then it will start looking for new opportunities. So, okay, this technically would be right. Like, given that if this is indeed an uptrend scenario, but it's not. Like, literally this just searched for a short out of nowhere, it seems like. I don't know how it's identifying trends. The 1 hour trend is not up. For super trend, yes, but 200 SMA, it isn't. And when this first started, it was saying that both of them were down, which means that that's when you're supposed to look for shorts. But if this is when the trade started, I mean, the super trend is up, and this is still down. So that would be no trend, right? If they're against each other. So that's, yeah, some tweaking has to be done here. But I'm still going to draw this out. I want to see what the parameters it is setting. I'll just draw it out quick. Long position. What time did you enter? 21:31. So about like here, I don't know. Let's input these numbers. Long here. Oh, literally exactly where my cursor was. That's pretty interesting. Stop loss is down there. Take profit is up here. Should be risk reward ratio of 1 to 3. Well, 3.01, I guess, because of decimals. I guess it's fine. And this is what it seems like it's doing, which, yeah, I guess because the trade closed over here and now it's deciding to enter here. Sure, I can understand it. but it's fine. I'm gonna try. I'll see if this rides out. If this does hit a take profit, I do want to see how much I'm getting returned in VST. It's not real money yet, but once this does actually start working, then I'll be able to, you know, get it all set up on perpetual futures. I'll drop 10,000 or something on that account and let it ride and see how it performs in a year. Because I've back tested this, and like something on SUI, if you put 10,000 in there, it'll give you back 55,000. I already showed the chart on that before. I don't know how certain it is, or if, you know, the backtesting is fully accurate, but based off of like the little bits I've been, you know, checking and making sure that the strategy is playing out exactly how I want it to, it seems like it is working. Except for this moment, right? When I'm running it live, it's a different set of code, different, you know, you need like API keys that are being updated every second. Not every second, but like every 5 minutes, I guess, is when it calls for that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to modify that. And I also want to figure out a way if I can do multiple assets at a time, right? I want you to check, of course, I only have it set for SUI in this case, but I want you to also check Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Cardano, Solana, etc. Just to see how, you know, cumulative growth from all of those, right? If one asset doesn't perform well, the other ones will. So that's my ideal behind it. Let's see how this runs. And in the meantime, let's get into the news as well, because we do have some stuff to talk about. I'll keep this open on SUI just to keep an eye on it. $3 SUI possibility today, if my trading bot is correct. It's already been proven wrong over here, so don't trust any of this as any financial advice. You can see, you can clearly lose. So anyway, this is the main reason, of course, why people were scared. BlackRock sending Ethereum and Bitcoin over to the exchanges. Did I share this yesterday? No, this is yesterday, not the day before. Yesterday I didn't stream. Day before I did. Why BlackRock transfer crypto? Because they're scared. What is the actual answer? What does Grok say? I'm kind of curious. They're transferring cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Ethereum to Coinbase Prime as part of routine liquidity management, portfolio rebalancing, or to facilitate investor redemptions for its iShares Bitcoin Trust Ethereum ETFs. They coincided with the market volatility, such as the recent $3 billion exit from Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Gosh, that is a lot of money. No wonder, like, ETFs, sure, they can be a good thing, but in these cases, man, like, we see them transferring money over to an exchange. Why you transfer to an exchange? Well, to sell. And we already know what's coming. The market sees that. People will sell off, like, okay, I'm going to sell before BlackRock sells their millions or billions. And yeah, I think they're smart. But anyway, now they're all buying back. Cool. By the way, McDonald's pattern on Ethereum, if you haven't noticed, it's pretty funny. Go to what? The weekly chart? I'm assuming it's the weekly chart. Yeah, you can see the McDonald's pattern, right? Is there a highlighter? Yes. What color is it? Is it yellow? I'm assuming it's yellow. No, it's red. Why is it red? Make it yellow. Oh, there we go. Yay, there we go. McDonald's pattern. It's real. Let me try again. It doesn't look good. Oh, it's red again. Why are you red? Delete that. There you go. I think it's time we find a job at McDonald's for real. When are we getting a real job? When moon? That's the real question. Congrats. So, okay, the CME gap. This is the important thing I wanted to talk about. Jokes aside, okay. So, Bitcoin's price is at a critical level due to two very important gaps, the CME gap and the low liquidity error gap. Both could determine how far BTC could drop and where it recovers. An analysis made by Nick. So, due to the non-continuous nature of CME markets, that's what it means, the Bitcoin CME prices often gap over the weekend. This is important as CME, this is what like I don't believe is true. Like over the weekend, it searches for a CME gap. I don't think that's necessarily true. And this is what it's talking about in terms of the image, right? This zone over here during the weekend, like when Bitcoin pumps from here to here, like the weekend wasn't open for Wall Street investors, right? So I guess, you know, Bitcoin will do its thing until It's time. It has to come back and eventually fill out this area, which happens to be where? Between like 77, between 81,000, right? 77 to 81,000. In early November, that's where we gapped from. If Bitcoin is to fill this gap, we should break down to just above 77,000. By the way, this was posted yesterday at 7 a.m., okay? Yesterday night is when we saw whatever we saw happen, which exactly that happened. So props to him. 78,227 was our low yesterday. I would technically call that the CME gap has been filled. Based off of just that. Based off of where we are right now, we're kind of bouncing back up. It would make sense. This is also an important level given that it is where the 200-day moving average lies. Cool, 200-day moving average, the blue line right there. To break down to 77,000 and the gap is filled, we should continue our upward trajectory, which is exactly what's happening. That's crazy. However, if we break below, we could look for a deeper correction through another gap, which I'm hoping does not happen. The low liquidity error gap is the other gap that is a little bit lower than this. What does that mean? It's going to be this right over here. So during Bitcoin's melt up after Trump's victory, an air gap was created in the realized supply. Between 70,000 and 88,000, the rally outpaced capital inflows, which means less realized supply in this range because it just increased so fast. This is a low liquidity range, which means that Bitcoin could fall quickly to the lower end of the range, 70,000, where it would find more of that liquidity, right? Because we've been around these levels for so long. We haven't been in the 80,000s in a very, very long time, of course. So this level is one many market participants could think could be the next target in this retracement. Of course, CME gaps aren't always filled. That's also an important thing to note, but this time it was. And liquidity air gaps rely on several assumptions around demand, etc., but the price levels do correspond to potential support levels, as talked about over here. Cool. So anyways, it seems like exactly that happened. So yeah, props. It worked out. We hit that CME gap, filled. They can't bother us about that narrative anymore. And look at that, guys. We're currently breaking above 85,000. Like, literally breaking right now. Breaking news. There you go. How long will we be able to maintain this momentum? I don't know. I don't know. I feel kind of bad. I have a lot of spare money now. I was hoping it would drop a little further. Because this kind of caught me off guard. I'll admit it. I didn't have as much cash as I would have wanted to have during that time. And, well, last night, this morning, I moved some money around, and now I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Keep dropping. Is that all you got, bears? But I think that is all that they had. We're kind of recovering. I don't want to speak too soon, of course. This could absolutely go much worse, and I'll end up biting my own words, but so far, everything is currently pumping. Sui is, what is it, 287 right now. Okay, well, I'll keep my eye on Sui for now. Let's see if this does reach its take profit. Do you want to see what the command line releases during its current live trade? All right. Next. First Solana ETFs registered on DTCC. It's a key step toward potential trading on US stock exchanges. We're seeing a couple of, I'm going to click that, some tickers, right, being released for Solana ETFs. We're seeing Volatility SHSTR Solana, Trust Solana ETF, I'm assuming is what this means, and Volatility SHS 2X Solana ETF. Wow. So if you want 2 times the volatility, I guess, of Solana, you can do it through this ETF, right? Although 2x isn't too crazy, but still. Leveraged ETFs, though, you do have to be careful. They do decay over time, by the way. I learned that the hard way. And it hurts. Cynthia Loomis, I did talk about this last stream, where she had that congressional hearing talking about meme coins, talking about stable coins, and talking about possible Bitcoin strategic reserve. Nothing came of it. It was just a big Q&A of like, why is this thing, but then this is not thing. or like a security, right? Or commodity, whatever. This is an overview of what she got from the day before yesterday's hearing, because this post is from yesterday, so the day before yesterday. Most digital assets are not legally securities under the Howey test. That's one of the things that they talked about. And I'm not exactly sure what the Howey test is. I could search. Well, that's not what I wanted. Howey test, search. It's a legal framework that determines if a transaction is an investment contract and subject to security laws. Of course, the SEC is interested in that. Yeah, something, whether or not it's considered a security. Cool. All right. Next, the United States is behind other countries in creating laws for digital assets. Of course, the United States is planning to be #1 in terms of crypto. At least that's what Trump's promises was. We're going to make the United States of America the crypto capital of the world, right? And next, of course, is that stablecoins will bring the payment system into the 21st century. They will make use of stablecoins. Through which network, through which blockchain, that's up to speculation. People are thinking Cardano, people are thinking XRP. Hopefully it is not Solana, as we mentioned. It's already got a bad reputation. Hopefully it's not Ethereum as well. Or maybe, if it's Ethereum, it'll be fine, I guess. But it's just, too pricey, right? The gas fees, etc. I did try sending crypto, and which one was really cheap? Polygon was not cheap. You had to send it through Ethereum. Avalanche was okay, actually. Solana was cheap. I didn't have Sui to send, although it still is pretty cheap. Ethereum was a little expensive, though. It wasn't too bad, but it was still more being paid for, regardless of the amount, right? You still have to pay more in fees, couple cents more. It's talking about cents. And it's interesting, though. You do have options to speed up the process, but you would pay more fees, of course, for that. But I wasn't in a hurry at that time, so I just chose the slowest option and pay less fees. But, still, the fees, regardless, were still high, which is surprising. But yeah. If you didn't know this, a lot of states are pushing for a Bitcoin strategic reserve for their own state, of course, right? Not at the federal level yet. South Dakota declined theirs. They will be reintroducing their bill next year. I don't know if there's any other states that have any updates on their own, but I have heard of a couple of other states trying to also push for this. And Texas, apparently, has passed their strategic Bitcoin reserve bill and are able to move it to the Senate floor, which means, it's on, so far so good, a good path, right? On the right track to getting that Bitcoin strategic reserve for Texas, it seems like. I think, at least. So, yeah, this is really good news. So far, I've been just reading good news, and there's more, by the way. The Securities Exchange Commission declares that meme coins are not considered securities. There you go. Everything on pub.fun, it's not a security. They're more like collectibles is the term that they used. They said that meme coins do not involve the offer and sale of securities under the federal securities law. There you go. Great news from the SEC. It seems like the SEC is now becoming more and more pro-crypto, especially with, Gary Gensler parting ways, which, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Less regulation means more crypto scams. But of course, less regulation also allows for genuine projects, that's what I was looking for, to grow, to actually, continue doing their thing, right? Because it seems like for whatever reason, that's all that they would target. The SEC would just target legitimate companies, legitimate projects that had to do with crypto, just because they were in crypto, and Gary Gensler hates crypto, I guess. But not anymore. He's gone, and they're acknowledging the good projects. But I still do feel like some regulation is needed, especially in terms of the meme coin situation. Something like this, I guess. House Democrats, the Democrats, okay, not the Republicans, they're reportedly set to introduce the Meme Act. Wow, I can't believe that's actually going to be a real thing. A bill that would ban public officials from issuing or endorsing meme coins like Trump, the Trump meme coin, right? Yeah, so they're gonna try to find a way to ban that, I guess. sure, I don't think like presidents or people like political figures should be releasing meme coins because, well, first, it can ruin their reputation if they end up rug pulling or if something goes wrong, as we have seen, for instance, with Argentina, right? Or, you know, it depends on what it's used for and depends on how they announce it, I guess, is one thing. What the issue with Argentina was that Javier Milei said, guys, I'm promoting this meme coin because it is going to contribute to the economic growth of Argentina and small businesses in Argentina. If you want to support that, go buy this coin, kind of deal. It wasn't like what Trump did, where he said, he had a legal disclaimer on his website. It was all done professionally, saying this is literally just, a fan token. It has no value, okay, and we're not responsible for whatever find out. You're likely to lose your money with this. By the way, it's just literally a meme coin, and you could buy it if you want. If you want to flex on your buddies, look, I have so many Trump coins, right? I guess like a collectible kind of deal. I like that analogy of meme coins just being like a collectible, right? If you really like something, you would buy it regardless of the price, just to say like, hey, look at this, I own it. Kind of what the NFTs were back in 2021, but those have died. Will they make a comeback? Probably. Although I don't know. Reputation of NFTs have also just been completely ruined, and that's why they're not even worth pennies at this point. And I feel like meme coins are kind of doing that similar kind of thing, but they can be good because, they do have decent communities when all goes well. But then there's just malicious people who will come in and ruin the markets by rug pulling, by scamming, you know, all that sort of stuff. So some regulation does have to happen. Introducing a meme act, I think this might be a little bit too harsh, but just modifying some of the rules, right? I read a post a couple days ago that gave an idea on how you could regulate something like pump.fun, and I completely agreed with it. I don't remember exactly what the post was, but it gave some very key important points that was just eye-opening, right? It would just make sense. So yeah, hopefully something like that gets implemented. More news from the SEC. They end their investigation into Consensus, a parent company of MetaMask. I remember when this was first announced and introduced, it was bad for MetaMask, and of course MetaMask uses Ethereum mainly, so I guess it had a bit of an impact there. But they end their investigation. They drop the case. Yeah, this is good. This should be good for Ethereum and everything, right? MetaMask also is now partnering with MasterCard. They're rebranding their logo a little bit to a new fox, I guess. That's the logo of their wallet. So yeah, cool. Good stuff happening for crypto in general. And, like I said, with all that good news, we're still seeing these kinds of drops, which I'm like, come on, none of this is making sense here. Can't wait for this to happen, by the way. Just stop loss immediately. I don't understand the logic behind this trading bot. Why are you doing this wrong? The 1 hour trend is not up. It should be set to none at this moment. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix the code with it. I'm working with AI to get that fixed. Because I do put a bit of my own spice into the codes, but I don't know if I'm helping it or not. I might be messing stuff up. I did study the codes. Of course, I do know how to code in Python. It's just been years, and honestly, I'm too lazy to remember everything. I do have all my course material from what I studied, so I am going over that. And that some of it is kind of coming back to me, but still I wasn't the greatest, right? And I'm still kind of new to it all, so my first real life implementation of something that I actually studied, so that's also kind of important. But yeah, that's besides the point. Okay, let's talk about USA politics, because that is important. Yesterday, Keir Starmer went to visit Donald Trump at the White House, and at the Oval Office, they answered some questions and talked about Ukraine and everything. This also came after Macron from France, President Emmanuel Macron visited Donald Trump as well. They had another same kind of discussion about Europe and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, It was okay meeting, just Q&A, I guess. He also humiliated UK Prime Minister by saying something like, "Could you take on Russia by yourselves?" And everybody started laughing. That was just a highlight of that. That's all. This is also talking about Ukraine. Well, Zelensky also, this happened today, visited Donald Trump. But before I get to that, though, it's what do you call it? The anniversary day. That's what it is of Ukraine invading. No, my gosh, Russia invading Ukraine, and you see all the world leaders, saying, "Oh, well, we stand with Ukraine," all that stuff. And this is just funny as well. We see 4 tweets in a row from European leaders posting on X the same kind of thing. Your dignity honors the bravery of the Ukrainian people. Be strong, be brave, be fearless. You are never alone. Dear President, we'll continue working with you for a just and lasting peace. That's pretty funny. They just copy and paste the same thing. Anyways, this is the highlight of the the meeting that Zelensky had with Donald Trump and JD Vance at the Oval Office. I watched it all. It started off decent, just simple Q&A, answering some questions and all that. It got to a point though where Zelensky started like cutting JD Vance off or cutting off Trump while they're trying to talk, and like they were just saying like, "Wait, you're putting the United States in a bad view." According to, in front of the media, I guess, right? Well, because everybody's still rolling their tapes, they're still filming this live, right? And Zelensky, he was just, I don't know, he seemed a bit arrogant, is what it seemed like. And, they started saying, "Oh, you're disrespecting the United States, you're disrespecting us, you're being disrespectful. Let us talk, or let me talk," is what he also wanted to say. Is like, no, you're in no position to, you don't have the cards without the U.S. You're nothing, right? You would have been defeated by Russia immediately, like when the war started, if it wasn't for us, right? He's like, no, but Europe also helped us. And like, yeah, but come on, United States is the one who gave you the most amount of money here, and you should be thankful. Ultimately, you're being ungrateful for this, and yeah. So that's practically how this exchange went. It got a little bit heated, right? They started like talking over each other very loudly until the point where he eventually got kicked out of the White House, as per RC politics. Ukrainian President Zelensky visit to the White House has been cut short, and there was no mineral deal signed, apparently. The mineral deal, of course, being since the United States under Joe Biden, which Trump disagreed with, he said that, we weren't supposed to give you all that money. You just took advantage of Joe Biden kind of deal. Because he was dumb and he just decided to give you guys so much money. From that, Ukraine is supposed to pay all that money back somehow. And obviously they don't have the money. They don't know where it is anymore. And so Trump says, okay, we'll take some of your rare earth minerals, because that's something that the United States doesn't have. Give us some of that stuff. And he was supposed to go there, sign something to agree with that. But apparently no mineral deal was signed. Trump wasn't happy with how Zelensky behaved. He also came out with a Truth Social post, if I can find real Donald Trump. He came out with that post right over here. Statement from President Trump. We had a very meaningful meeting at the White House today. Much was learned that could never be understood without conversation under such fire and pressure. It is amazing what comes out through emotion. Trump has determined that President Zelensky is not ready for peace if America is involved, because he feels that America's involvement gives him a big advantage in negotiations. He doesn't want an advantage, he wants peace. That's what Trump wants. Zelensky disrespected the United States of America in its cherished Oval Office. He can come back when he is ready for peace talks, right? Because it didn't seem, Trump took it as if like, okay, you clearly don't want a ceasefire deal, right? You're the one who was calling to, not do the ceasefire deal the whole time while Trump was, and negotiating ceasefire deals with Putin at the time. But Zelenskyy was like, oh, no, I don't want USA to get involved in our peace talks. That's kind of what he was saying. And I guess Trump took that kind of literally. And so what this resulted in, of course, is Zelenskyy just being kicked out of the White House. He's like, you know what, go. You're being disrespectful, get out, kind of deal. And yeah, just I guess to send him a message, you got to respect the United States, be thankful, be gracious for what they have done for the country. They're trying to help end the war, to trying to protect everyone, etc. But Zelenskyy, I guess, was not willing to cooperate. I don't know. It seemed like he was all right, but I don't know. Maybe his strong accent, I guess, makes it seem like he's coming off as a little arrogant. That's kind of the way that I took it, at least. But it's fine. Why is World War III trending? There's literally nothing. It's literally just for that, it seems like. Trump says that Zelenskyy is gambling with World War III. Vance demands a thanks. Yeah. Apparently, he also called J.D. Vance a suka under his breath. So, yeah, that kind of drama has been going on. And also, that was one of the reasons why today the stock market was crashing a little bit, right? Because they weren't happy with how this little meeting was turning out. It seems like there was no peace deal going to be signed. So, oh, well, what does that mean? We're going to continue with this for a while longer. That's how the market reacted to all this news. Crypto, not anymore, I don't think, because they've already been taking too much of a beating. A bit of choppiness during that time, but nothing too crazy. Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, they have left Romania and are heading to the United States. This comes after that last week, President Trump pressured Romanian authorities to lift their restrictions. Seems like they're kind of good buddies, I guess. Not a lot of people, of course, like the Tate brothers. And Trump was actually asked about this while he was in the meeting yesterday with Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of UK. He was asked by a reporter something along the lines of, what are your thoughts on, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate coming back to America? He's like, well, I had no clue that they were coming back, so I don't care, right? That was practically his response. Apparently they were on a private jet and headed to Florida, USA. That is where they are at right now. They have officially been allowed to leave Romania after 2.5 years. Of course, there is some news of a bit of corruption going on in Romania. One of the things, of course, they claim at the Tate brothers that they are being falsely accused of this whole human trafficking case with false witnesses, people bringing false evidence to court. They have already proven most of it to be false, or all of it, I think. It seems like the record is clean at this point. And yeah, now they're just super rich. The corruption as well going on in Romania comes also from a president who got elected being arrested by the current president in power, right? You're interfering with the elections, you're arresting your opposition, and yeah, I don't know. Comes down to that, I guess. So they decided to leave Romania and head to the United States. I think they already have citizenship in the United States, so they're fine. Ron DeSantis, though, governor of Florida, says that Andrew and Tristan Tate are not welcome in Florida. I have no idea why. Probably because he doesn't want to get anything involved with this whole human trafficking case. They have bad reputation, is what it seems like, and he doesn't want to deal with any of that. This is undefeated boxing champion Floyd Mayweather, surprising all the fans by completely endorsing Trump. He went on Fox News and defended Trump, claiming that he's the best president that we ever had. He says that I'm very happy. We had Trump before. We didn't appreciate him, but I think Trump is the best president we've ever had. Said that live on Fox News. Congrats. There you go. Endorsement. Thank you. Transgender troops from the United States are now being identified for removal under Pentagon orders. They're removing the transgender people from the military. Where are they going? Probably Canada. Apparently the Canadian government is offering a, oh my god, good luck, 2S LGBTQIA plus resettlement program for LGBTQI plus refugees. This is not a joke. Well, it is a joke, but it's real. That's the state of Canada. There you go. We're accepting LGBTQI plus refugees officially. Wow, there you go. Anyways, that's among the federal liberal government. We don't gotta worry about them for much longer, hopefully, as soon as an election gets called. Jagmeet Singh needs to call an election. NDPs, do your thing. He has his pension already. We can have our election. Anyways, in Ontario, this is the results of the election. Premier Doug Ford has won his third consecutive term with a majority. Congratulations to Doug Ford. We're getting a wage limit increase. Minimum wage, it will be increasing starting April 1st. Apparently, it will be increasing to $17 and what was it, 40 cents? I could ask Rock. 30 cents. $17.30 is the new minimum wage. Current minimum wage is $17.20, guys. We're getting a 10-cent wage increase. That's fascinating. Congrats. Anyway, Canada deports more people, predominantly those rejected for refugee status. Cool, at least they're deporting those rejected. I mean, isn't that normal? Yeah, anyways, what about the international students? Trump says that he said this with Keir Starmer yesterday. He sees no progress by Canada in combating fentanyl. And that's why he's setting the stage for the massive tariffs. So, like I said, tariffs are coming March 4. And he's blaming the drugs and immigration, of course, for those tariffs. He's obviously seeing that there's no clear evidence that, any of it is working. He posted this on Truth Social saying drugs are still pouring into our country from Mexico and Canada at very high and unacceptable levels. So he's not satisfied with the 1 month free trial of no tariffs to try to get this problem resolved. So he's going to go ahead with the tariffs until it gets resolved. Large percentage of these drugs, much of them in the form of fentanyl, are made in and supplied by China. They go to Canada or Mexico, and then from there into the United States, right? That's why China is also getting an additional 10% tariff. More than 100,000 people died last year due to the distribution of these dangerously and highly addictive poisons. Millions of people have died over the last 2 decades. The families of the victims are devastated and in many instances virtually destroyed. We cannot allow this scourge to continue to harm the USA, and therefore, until it stops or is seriously limited, the proposed tariffs scheduled to go into effect on March 4th will indeed go into effect as scheduled. China will likewise be charged an additional 10% tariff on that date. The April 2nd reciprocal tariff date will remain in full force and effect. Thank you, God bless America. Yeah, that's all that it says. Of course, Justin Trudeau has his comments on this already and says that less than 1% of the fentanyl that arrives into the United States comes from Canada. So he's threatening an immediate and extremely strong response if the United States proceeds with tariffs next week. Man, can we just get a new prime minister already? If this is true, then, I mean, Trump wouldn't be putting tariffs on us then. Unless he's probably just pressuring Canada to become the 51st state, unless an election is called. A federal election is what we need. We would rather have, I guess, Pierre Poilievre lead the country. Pretty sure not a lot of people like, who is it? Chrystia Freeland, or Carbon Tax Carney, I guess is what they call the other guy, to lead the country. So, yeah, Jagmeet Singh is out of the question. He's got his pension now. We're relying on him, though, to call for the election. We need a majority vote on that. Of course, Justin Trudeau has made 104 federal appointments since he announced his resignation on January 6th, including 4 senators and 14 judges. Why is this guy still here? He's already resigned. Why is he still talking on behalf of everyone? Anyway. Trying to end it off a little bit here, so some good news. No, this is bad news. Wuhan is working on a new COVID in their lab, I guess. Elon Musk says this is very concerning. And just a moon, what do you call this? Moon probe? rover update. It's going to touch down on March 2nd, around like 3 a.m., I think it said, to look for water ice that can be converted to drinking water and oxygen. They're looking for that stuff on the moon. Well, good luck. Seems like they're already, it says 100 kilometers away, I think. Just land on the moon. Why wait until March 2nd? Anyways, I don't know how science works. Probably for the better. And yeah, I don't know if we're going to see this get close today. Low volatility at night, and I'm not going to keep my computer on. My computer has to be on, and this command prompt does have to be running during the, you know, if I do want this to continue, right? But I don't think it's doing the right thing. Like, I lost, what was it, 300 over here? I'm supposed to lose 100, right? So, yeah, I have to fix the code for my backtest. Yeah, overall, recovery, that's good. 84,000 again, not good. But, hey, we touched 85. That's a good thing. And, yeah. Alright, I'll end it off here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be Saturday. It's going to be a flat day. We're probably going to stay around 84, 85,000 in that case. Unless we get worse news, which I don't think... What else is happening? Tariffs coming up next week, which we know of. That's practically priced in. We already know the tariffs are coming. Today we had PCE data for inflation. I should probably review that with you guys, right? It came in line with what the market expected, so no surprises there. Everything was fine. All the data from today came in line with what market expected, and same with yesterday. So nothing too crazy. I don't think there's been a change in like the CME group. Like if we check the probabilities of interest rate cuts, I don't think it's any different. Yeah, we're expecting a rate cut in June and rate cut in September. Same thing as before, so not too bad. And also 2 rate cuts for next year, 2026. One in December, one in March. Looks great. Regardless of these tariffs that are happening, we're still able to see a probability of rate cuts still happen, meaning that the view on inflation from tariffs will not rise. Inflation will not rise due to tariffs. They seem like, it feels like at least the United States has found a way to kind of curve inflation, right? With whatever counter tariffs anybody else will impose on the United States, it won't affect them, right? We'll see. We'll hope that Trump knows what he's doing, and we'll get everything out of the mess. All right. Yeah, I said bye like 5 minutes ago. Okay, bye for real. Bye.